Hello, this is David Benign from Excel Consulting. In this video, I'm going to show you 8 PowerPoint hacks to simplify screenshots. Also works with wordy images. Screenshots, we see them used a lot in PowerPoint slides, but they often have too much in them. So for example, here, we know that we shouldn't have too many things in a slide, be it too much text or too many images. And unfortunately, screenshots are notorious for having too much stuff in them. So for example, here is an example of how you can simplify it and, get rid of that. And it doesn't even look like I've done anything tricky, but I actually have. And putting this frame around it is another trick that I'll show you. Plus, how to actually get screenshots using the new Windows 10 feature. So let's look at the 8 ones and let's start counting down. So simplify with a crop. So here I am using some text. This is from the phonetic alphabet, the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. And we're going to start with simplifying with a crop. Now, when you have something in a slide, you want the user to have their attention focused. They shouldn't see too much on the slide. So if I decide that I actually just want to see the range in horizontal from biggest to smallest, then what I can do is I can just go to picture format and crop. Now the first initial thing that you might want to crop is this. This is kind of obvious. You don't need this extra text. It doesn't add that much value. And you can keep going up and just sort of crop it right until there. That's probably okay. And then get rid of it, and there you have it. It's a much cleaner way to get that message across. So that's number one, a simple crop that you might use to simplify your screenshots. Let's go to another one. And notice this is a wordy picture as well as a screenshot. All right, simplify with cover up. Now, when you're applying makeup, you often just want to apply some cover up to get rid of maybe something that you don't want people to see on your face or another part of your body. So PowerPoint has a similar tool, and let me show you how to do it. It's kind of using a hack, which is interesting. And don't worry, there's some really, really good ones. So even if you know these tricks, there's some other more advanced cover-up things that I've got coming, as well as how to make a screenshot pop and even how to take the screenshot. So let's go and start with this. So we're going to draw a rectangle like this. And you might think, well, this is kind of easy. I just need to make the rectangle white and then give it no outline as well. And that is something you might think is okay, but as you can see, it's not the same color. This is not a white, but a very, very, very light blue that you might want to see here. So that doesn't quite work. We want it to be perfect. And we can make it perfect by clicking on the shape, going to shape format and choosing shape fill. Choosing the eyedropper tool. I love the eyedropper tool. It's one of my favorite features of PowerPoint that came to the 2010s. And I have that in my video of top feature enhancements from the 2010s. So if I use that, I can basically pick a color from elsewhere in my slide. So if I click here, that'll be a very obvious red. But if I use it to click right next to my slide, it will look like that and basically zero out what I want to put next to my slide. And I can do the same if I sort of copy and paste this shape, Control V, I can put that over different parts of my shape like that. And then you can make another one by going into another part of it like this. And then often it may look like it's white, but I always try and use the eyedropper just in case it's not, because it's so easy to do. And then go no outline. And there you have it like that. And you can copy and paste that in a few other places as you go along to zero out those elements of a screenshot. So that is how you can use number 2, which is simplify with cover up. Let's go up to a more advanced cover up. And I'll show you what the problem is. So let's say that I want to simplify this bit. I can create my screenshot and put that over there. And then use my eyedropper again and grab this color there. And no outline. And then it looks good from here, but if I zoom in and you really, really look at it, you can see that this is actually a gradient fill. So it hasn't quite worked perfectly, and that's why we need a more advanced idea of cover up, which does work with gradient fills in the next one. That's number 3. Cover up with image parts. So for this one, I'm going to use cover up to fix this thing over here. And I'm going to use it as well with this sign up form here. So again, if I sign up, if I draw a shape there and I use an eyedropper and no outline, it doesn't quite look that great because this is a kind of deeper gradient fill here. But here's what I can do. I can duplicate this image. So I'm going to go to the Home tab, and here, instead of copy, I'm going to choose duplicate, and I'm going to align them to make sure they're exactly the same, like that. I'm going to go to Picture Format and Crop. I'm going to crop just the top one, and this might feel counterintuitive. I'm going to crop this bit over here, and right from the beginning till the end of the image. Make sure they're aligned, otherwise this trick doesn't work as well. Now I have another image that is basically just duplicated, and I can just move it along. And I know it's not exactly the same size, but I can stretch it because it's just a gradient fill, and that looks perfect. Even if I zoom in, so it's really, really, really big, it's so hard to tell that I've done anything. So it's a really, really good advanced tip for using cover up in PowerPoint. Okay, let's go for another one that's a more advanced trick, and this is an image which has loads and loads of text. It's best to not use images with text. The viewer of your PowerPoint will try and read, and the text might be too small, and it's just too much for them to read on a slide. So what looks good in a graphic might not look good on a PowerPoint slide. Plus, if you have text and images, it also might be a different font to what you have. So it might have an inconsistency in terms of design. So here we're going to use a slightly more advanced way of using this cover up, which is I'm going to draw this freeform shape. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to draw this freeform shape. Now, if you hold it down, it allows you to lock it in, or if you hold and release, it allows you to create these kind of straight lines. So that is straight. I've held and released. If I keep it hidden, keep it clicked, then if I draw around it, get those lines as close as possible, not those glasses, and keep going. You might want to zoom in to be a bit more precise. And then I'm going to zoom out this screen here. Now, it's hard to zoom out once you're already in it, so I'm just going to stop there, go here, and go there. And as you can see, it locks it in. It tells me that I'm going to lock in my shape, like that. And then I'm going to use my eyedropper and grab this color next to it, and outline, no outline, like that. So you still have these kind of faintish blue lines, and you can be more precise around those, but that is a way you can use cover up with a freeform shape. That allows you to do it a lot more sophisticated there. So you could do it on this one as well. This is from a slide that I saw someone present earlier today in a coaching presentation, Nerd Night, that I run as we went along. All right, so on to number 5, make it pop. This is a trick that is very simple. And I think this should be the default because screenshots look better when they have this. So this is what I mean by make it pop. I use this in emails all the time. When I email clients with a screenshot, I make sure that they can see exactly what it is, and I'm allowed to do it. So over here, what I need to do is I click on the picture, go to picture format, and I really resent Microsoft for this because picture styles is a thing with a lot of different things, but a lot of these I think are very unprofessional and not very useful. There is one though that I really, really love, and that is this one. It's called Center Shadow Rectangle. That makes it pop, puts this kind of thing around it. And here is what I find particularly fascinating about it. If I open up a dialog box in PowerPoint, like this one, compressed pictures, it actually has that effect around it already. This is not a PowerPoint feature, but a Windows 10 feature. And I really, really like that. And I think that Microsoft should follow suit and put this by default around your screenshots. If not, then you have center shadow rectangle, which is, in my opinion, the only one that looks professional. Apart from maybe this one looks okay, a simple black frame. But I really love the pop out one there. So that's number 5. Let's move on to number 6. This is another idea entirely, but you can make your users focus by using a blurred image with one that matters. So here I've got my center shadow rectangle that is emphasized there. So how do I do that? I duplicate an image again, and I put them on top of each other exactly. Stop suggesting ideas. I don't need that now. Although I love PowerPoint Designer, I've got way more videos about that. So click on your top picture, picture format, and crop it. Again, we're going to crop it to exactly the place where we want to emphasize. This is going to be this one. Works really well with screenshots. Now I have 2 pictures, even though it looks like just one. And I'm going to click the back one, go to picture format, and then I'm going to choose artistic effects, and this one, blurry. You see that? Now it just looks like I have something around it, but the user is able to see a lot more vividly which one matters like this. I really like this feature as well. Blur out parts for emphasis. All right, almost at the last one. We've got 2 more. Paste this picture. So once you have made the amendments that you want, what you can do is you can select multiple objects on your PowerPoint, which could be a mixture of images and shapes. You can copy it, and then when you go to paste special, choose here, and paste as picture. I often use PNG, and this makes it a single file, so no one can now edit what it is. It just looks like a neat picture. To show you that again with the Facebook thing that we were doing, like this, you can select all of your objects sort of like this, and then you can copy it, and then you can paste special as a picture, like that. Now it's a single object, and you can't make a mistake with that as well. The other thing that I really like is you can select multiple objects again, and you can right click and choose save as picture. So often I use this just for graphic design stuff, to be able to save something that I can reuse in another application, send as an image or whatever it is. Save as picture allows you to do that. PowerPoint is my de facto graphic design software, so I use it for that. And finally, that takes us to the last one, which is one of my favorites. I really, really love this because it's amazing how most people can do a better job taking a screenshot with a mobile phone than they can do taking a screenshot on their computer. And that is why number 8 is how to take a screenshot on your computer the proper way. Most people know that you can press print screen and paste that. And yes, that does take a screenshot of your full screen. But how often is it that you want a picture of the full screen? You want a picture of part of the screen. And that's why the new Windows 10 app is called Snip and Sketch. If you go to your start button, you can open it like this. And new will allow you to make a screenshot. The default one is a rectangular snip. This is the one I use all the time, all the time. It allows you to choose, click and hold to see what you want to do there. And then you have it here. You can annotate it in Sight, or probably more useful is copy, and then you can paste it here. But even more useful than all of these things is the keyboard shortcut, because it skips a few steps. Windows Shift S. Press that, Windows Shift S, and you get this that pops up automatically, and you can just screenshot whatever you want, and that just copies it to the clipboard so you can paste it wherever you want, not just in PowerPoint, in Word, in Outlook, in a website editor, whatever it might be. You can paste it like that. So there are some other options, like you can do a freeform shape, or a complete window, or a full screen. Honestly, I never use any of those. I always use the default, which is this. So just start selecting it, and you can paste it there. I love this feature. I use it all the time, and I highly recommend that you do the same. So that's the end of my top 8 tips. If you like this video, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want more awesome content. I have new videos popping up on PowerPoint, Excel, and Power BI all the time. 1 to 2 videos a week. So please do subscribe to my channel if you want more great content. Thanks for watching.